Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 297. It is Tuesday morning, the last day I have off work, which I guess doesn't mean much because it seems like most days are off work the way I treat it. I am just leaving home. Had a very long drive home, over 5 hours yesterday, and the snow slowed me down so much. I would say after the first half hour, there was snow on the ground. After the first hour, you couldn't see the road the rest of the time. So it was a very scary drive, very difficult drive, a lot of drifting. If you move the steering wheel at all, you're starting to drift across the road. Semis did not care. They were flying by. Even flashing their lights from behind me to tell me to move out of the way so they could go by. So it was a very difficult drive, very draining drive, and very scary. It took forever, but got home early this morning. And here we are. And more, the frustration gets deeper that there's a new world order for me. And what it's going to come down to is feast or famine. It's going to be making tons of money or making no money and nothing in between, and that's what's going to happen. So the trip to Oklahoma is extremely important, and then the trip to New Jersey and the trip to Las Vegas in January are going to be incredibly important. By the time I finish the Oklahoma trip, I'm going to have a new vision. By the time I finish January, I'm going to have a new plan completely. So, yeah. This morning, kids didn't have school today. The roads were dangerous enough that they shut the schools down. I am on the road right now. So far, it seems like the roads are pretty good. I mean, there's still snow on the ground, but it's nothing ridiculous. Everyone is driving incredibly slow, though. Right now it's 27 outside, feels like 22. Winter weather advisory. Snow continuing. Total snow accumulations of 3 to 5 inches until 10 a.m. this morning. Travel could be difficult. Hazardous conditions will impact the morning commute. Slow down and use caution while traveling. Blah, blah, blah. So that's what we're facing this morning. So instead of a 4+ hour drive today, we are going to our closest casino. We are not going to play poker after that. We're going to get back to basics, back to what we know, back to building our bankroll without having to spot poker $1,000 every day and having to work longer and longer hours to break even every day. It's just going to be off the table except for online low limit where I can learn and practice and get better. So that's the way it's going to have to be. So right now we're going to head to our first casino. Then we are going to drive all the way back home and past home for a meeting that I'm going to have, and then we're going to go back to that casino again, and then we're going to go home and do work for the office, and then tonight we're going to travel a couple hours to a slots only casino that has a game that I'm working with someone on, and we're going to try to do that tonight. Again, with that game, I cannot disclose the information, how much I won or lost, or what it is, but we're going to be doing that, and hopefully that works out pretty well. So that's what's going on right now. Expect by the end of the year, I'm going to give you a breakdown of how things are going, and well, actually probably tonight or tomorrow I'll let you know where I am as far as my goals for the year, which are looking pretty good, even though personally I'm feeling kind of damaged and scared and worried and all this stuff. I think money-wise it's okay, but outlook-wise it's not. But expect that I'll give you an update on where we are. and then an outline of what I'm hoping to do for next year. And then we'll get caught up on our work for the office, which we're supposed to be back at work tomorrow, but we'll have a long travel day tomorrow. So we have to do all the work tonight that we would do tomorrow, catching up, and then make ourselves visible throughout the day tomorrow, keep the phone on, figure out where we're going to go tomorrow, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. So as you know, every once in a while I go off subject here and talk about something that I think is important. Today I want to talk to you about what's going on in the markets as far as silver is concerned. By the way, I'm still on my way to this first casino. The roads are not the best, but not terrible. I'm able to do 55 and a 65, which is not bad. There's cars littering the road left and right, everywhere cars, everywhere a car. So let's talk a little bit about silver. What is going on with silver? Silver is up over 100% this year. Everyone's been talking about gold for years, but silver's been silently getting more and more expensive. During COVID, silver fell down to about $9 an ounce, and we were so wrapped up in what we were doing, we weren't paying attention to it. And if I had known, I would have put everything I had into silver at that time. I've been slowly building up my silver for many years. I mean, slowly, not aggressively at all. I don't know how much I have. Maybe, I don't know. I have pounds. Is it 40 pounds, 50 pounds, maybe somewhere in there? I'm not really sure. But I have 1 ounce bars, 5 ounce bars, 10 ounce bars, junk silver, which is basically old nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollars that are silver. The nickels are only like 3 years, like 42 to 45. 4 years, I guess. But other than that, pretty much quarters, dimes, half dollars, 1970 and earlier for the half dollars and dollars, and 1964 for the dimes and quarters. Or 1964 and earlier were 90% silver. With the half dollars and dollars, 65 to 70 was 40%, and before that was 90%. So why is this important? Why are we even talking about this? We're talking about this because about, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, whenever it was, I don't have the charts in front of me, JP Morgan Chase was manipulating the market and basically screwing silver investors who knew that silver should be a lot higher based on supply and demand, based on the amount of mining and the amount of demand there is for electronics, and for that people want silver. They were manipulating it down to basically screw the general public, and they were making billions of dollars from it. Eventually got to the point where they couldn't suppress it anymore, and the price popped because all their shorts failed and they had to cover their shorts. And what a short is when you're betting that the market is going down, you basically borrow an ounce of silver and you hold on to it till the price goes, you borrow an ounce of silver, you sell it immediately, let's say at $10, price goes down to $9, and then you buy it back at $9 and give it back to the person that you borrowed it from, and you make $1, right? So they were doing naked shorts, and naked shorts is when you say that you have it, but you really don't have it, and you shouldn't be doing that. And they were fined, and of course the money didn't go to any of the people that were hurt by it, because how do you figure out all the millions of people that were stolen from? So that happened then. The price went back down, and slowly it's been inching up, and now London has been doing the same thing, and now they've been caught with their pants down, and they couldn't suppress it anymore, and the price popped into the high 50s now. As of today, it's about 57 and change. It already hit 58 at one point, and it's expected to continue to go up. Well, what people were doing was they were buying silver from London at a suppressed price, and then they were going to China or India where the price was not suppressed, and they were selling it there, then going back to London and buying it and selling it to India and China, and back and forth and back and forth. Well, now they are out of silver and they can't deliver. People are saying, okay, I want my silver, I paid for my futures, and the contract is coming due. And most people say, well, let me just roll over the contract into January, February, March. Well, now people are saying, no, I just want my silver. I don't want to roll it over to a further, into the future time. I want my physical silver, and they don't have it. So they actually had to airlift a bunch of silver from New York into London to cover some of that. And there still isn't enough silver, and they were forced to lease silver from China at a high interest rate, and there still isn't enough. And now China is saying, hey, now we're running low, we can't be doing this anymore. And now there's a big crisis, and the only way for this crisis to end is for London to lose billions and billions of dollars, because they're going to have to come up with the money to pay for the silver. And since there isn't a lot of silver available on the market now, they're going to have to pay increasingly higher and higher rates for the silver. So why does this matter, MW? Why are we talking about this? Well, I've been buying silver since it was about $11 an ounce many, many years ago. And I was so busy during COVID, I wasn't paying attention to the drop. But you can buy silver, dollars, half dollars, quarters, dimes, all that stuff. And right now you can buy it at spot price, because a lot of these companies have so much of this junk silver that people turned in, that people sold, that they're not buying anymore, and they want to get rid of it. This is not the same silver that we're talking about with London, which is bars of silver, ounces of silver, tens, 100 ounces, stuff like that. So these companies have so much of this, and the refineries are melting it down, but they're so backed up that they're not buying it, so the dealers don't know what to do with it all. So you're able to buy silver at spot and sometimes below spot price. Okay, that's great, MW. Well, I'm going to go buy some silver. I'm not telling you to go buy silver. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm telling you to have someone help you with that, a financial advisor, whatever. If it's you, do your research before you do anything. I'm just giving you my opinion. So historically, lately actually, silver has been so out of whack with gold. It's like gold was about 100 times the silver price, and now it's weaned down to about 75. India thinks it's going to get down to 10 times, which would mean at today's gold price, silver would be over 400. I don't think it's going to get to 10, but I think maybe 30. So there's plenty of room for silver to move, in my opinion. And I just wanted to let you guys know about what's going on. Market manipulation happens all the time. Just like with casinos, the stock market, futures markets, options markets, those are manipulated all the time by more powerful people. I remember whatever it was, 20, 30 plus years ago, and I didn't bring a list of information, so I don't have it all in front of me. There were some brothers who were trying to buy out the silver market to control it and control the pricing of the silver market. So silver market is relatively small as an asset compared to other markets. It's in the tens of billions, maybe hundreds of billions. I think it's smaller than Bitcoin, in fact. So anyway, so I just wanted to let you know that this might be happening. Right now, I'm not adding to what I have. I have plenty right now, and right now my bankroll is not where I want it to be, so I don't want to be throwing money into other things that may be years before I can cash them out. And honestly, I don't know if I'll ever cash out my gold and silver, because we're still printing dollars, devaluing the dollar, and increasing the price of gold and silver long term. Even if there's short-term dips, long term, I know if I hold on to it, gold is going to be in the tens of thousands and silver is going to be in the thousands if we wait long enough. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. I don't know if that's helpful to you guys. I don't know if you already knew about it or not, but that's something that I've been watching for a long time, decades of investing in it. I was going to a pawn shop and buying silver quarters for like $2.50 for a quarter. And I kept telling the guy, give me more, give me more, give me more, because he didn't know the exact price, and I was actually getting a instant profit on it. And I asked him, can you please go in your vault and get them all out? He said he had thousands of them, and I'll buy them all. And he was just too lazy to do that. But now a silver quarter is worth like $10.40. So it's pretty incredible. I remember as a kid working at a grocery store, and a silver quarter was worth about 30 cents, 26 cents. So we would see it, we'd be like, oh, look at this, it's a silver one, and put it right back in the till. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I mean, we even had a couple Indian head pennies back then. Wheat pennies were very commonplace, and Indian head pennies were still showing up every, few months or so. Anyway, I am getting close to my first stop, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. It was a frustrating session. I know you haven't heard me say that lately. Every session has been so frustrating. Just like, I think I hurt my hand in the last couple weeks just slamming my fist down on stuff. It's been so frustrating. I ended up playing a lot of plays. I was in there for like an hour and a half. Was up as much as 400 or 500. Probably 400, and was down as much as 2,800, and ended my session ahead only $180, and that's with winning a W2. So very stressful situation. Played some things that were very high denomination, $16, $8, $4, $18.75, $17, $15, $8, $9, all these different things. And after all that, we ended up ahead, on an average of like 8 average bets. So not very good, but at least we finished ahead. I'm going to head toward home. I'm canceling some of the other stuff I was going to do. Going to go home and get my brain in order, get organized, update my spreadsheet, pay bills, do all that kind of stuff, and go see my mom. I haven't seen her for a week, and then we'll go from there. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. So I went home, took care of bills and all that kind of stuff, went to the bank and deposited a check. Before I left home, I packaged up that phone from eBay, and then went to the post office, dropped that off. So got a lot of good stuff taken care of that I needed to. I'm going to go back home right now, and we're going to update our spreadsheet, and then we'll figure out what to do from there. So we're heading home, going to update our gambling spreadsheet, and then I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I am back. It is 4 p.m. now, and we are just leaving home. It is 20 degrees outside. I've got kids who have been shoveling snow all day and out doing all kinds of stuff. I am just leaving home. We have a couple hour drive to this casino for a certain game we're working on, and so we'll see how that goes. It's not really my type of thing, not really something that I normally would do, but I'm working with another team, and hopefully it all turns out good. I will not be providing you with results on this particular game, but they do have other slots and things there, and we'll be probably playing something there. So hopefully we'll find some kind of play while we're there. So right now we're heading out, and I'll be back to update you here in a little while. Alright guys, I am back. So yeah, I updated my chart, and we're doing okay for the year. And I thought that I was about 10,000 behind schedule, but I had my entire formula wrong. The entire formula is wrong. So I'm actually like 55,000 away from between now and the end of the year. So I either have to make 55,000 for the month, or I can just not stress about it and get what I get. And I'm at about 220 right now. My goal was going to be 275, but I copied my formula from last year and didn't adjust it, so it's still a formula for 250, and or whatever. So I think it was 250 last year. So yeah, I either need to make 55,000 in the next 29 days, which is doubtful, or we just take it easy and get what we get and not stress about it, which is what we're going to try to do. I'll try to make that, but I just am not going to have the opportunity until January to really make the bigger money. I don't think I can fly anywhere that's going to be helpful fast enough between now and the end of the year. Unless I take my family to Vegas after Christmas, I don't know what they'll think about that. I don't know how happy they would be about that, but that would be the only way, because that's where my game is that I could make the big money on. So I just thought of that. So I'll run that by my wife and wait for her to say no. I'm sure she'll say no. Yeah, we'll do our best and make whatever we can, but it's been a good year. If we make it to 250, we will actually, or even if we get close, we will actually hit $1 million before the end of the year. I think I'm only like 23,000 away from $1 million for the year. Not for the year. I mean 23,000 away from $1 million overall. So I just updated that chart, and that's what I see. I'll go back through, make sure I didn't make any other mistakes. There was one year where we closed out the year, and I found a mistake later on. I'd actually made like 2,500 more, but I think I have everything in the way it's supposed to be. I'll double check everything. I did have a minus $3,000 session as a plus, and I fixed that. But I noticed that right away. So anyway, yeah, we're just continuing on here to our next stop. Just thought I'd update you with that news. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back, and that was an interesting experience. Jeez. Got there and talked to my contact, got everything ready to go. While I was waiting to start, walked around, looked at slot machines, found a couple plays, easy peasy, plus 146. Everything was looking rosy, beautiful, nice, fine, good. Everything was good. Took care of that play. Everything went fine, as scheduled, as planned. Everything was good. Then back to my stuff again. Back to just my alone, personal finance stuff. I played some slots again. I noticed that at this point, all of the slot hustlers were gone except for me and one other guy. And that other guy was playing Fireball, the Fireball game, the one where you get 4 fireballs and you get into the bonus. He's playing $10 a spin on that. And just newsflash, if I mention the name of a machine, it's not a beatable machine. So get your list of 2,000 machines and Crossfire Link or whatever it's called off that. And so he was playing, every time I turned around, he was playing a different one of those at $10 a spin. So he must have had a good day and felt guilty and wanted to give it back. I don't understand. So meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, I am playing this machine. It's $1.20 a spin. I get involved in this machine for $600. That's right, 500 units before it hits, and it pays $200. It pays like 167 units on a 500 unit entry. So I was pretty frustrated. I'm down like 400, walk around, look for some other stuff. At this point, time to go, I'm down 400. No. Stuck around, found some other plays, and some other plays, and stuck around, and stuck around, and stuck. So I basically was there for an extra hour. And it actually ended up working out a little bit better, but still, that was a lot of time to spend, just walking around, and I noticed that this place is a little different than other casinos. This one in particular is different than the other ones in the area. You might say, MW, there's a lot of other casinos that have that, but this was a little bit different. This one has like 6 or 8 people stationed, just standing there watching for misbehaving people, watching for people checking machines, stuff like that. And there were even 2 of them that I noticed that were sitting down at a slot machine watching people go by. So you gotta kind of keep your eye out when you're doing this and make sure that you know who's around you, who's watching you. Lots of times, even when someone is watching me, I'll check one machine, but I'll sit down and check it. And then look at my phone. Oh, okay, and then walk away. And it'll look like an ordinary person sitting there and then walking away. I might check the rules. I might read the guideline, whatever it is, and then I'm going to walk away. So, I ended the second slot session slightly lower, down 137. So, those math geniuses, 146 minus 137 means I made $9. So, I covered my gas out here, and then the other play did what it was supposed to do. So, whatever. All right. So, right now we're heading back toward home. Considering maybe another move here, but I'm not positive. I'll be back. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight. We'll catch up in the morning. A lot of stuff going on the next few days. I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.